shores of demoniac nations, or nations that are being harassed by demonic strategies and demonic things. And this is sounding like a really dark prophecy, but it's not. It's actually a good day. It's a good moment because it's the church shines brightest in the dark spaces. And so I feel like this. I feel like I sense that there's an emerging of the prophetic voice in Australia, and as a result of that, we're going to continue to see not only great words of courage, because we need that, but I actually believe that we're going to speak words of deliverance and healing. Yep. I believe that that churches are going to, I think I alluded to it before, the ears of churches that have become close to the prophetic are going to begin to open again. But I just want to counsel this. Sometimes you've got to operate. You might see so much, but we teach our prophetic people, just because you see everything doesn't mean you should say everything that you see. As a matter of fact, your maturity is measured by what you don't say rather than what you say. And so I really feel like God is going to continue to open our eyes and our ears in the prophetic, especially in Australia here. There's going to come wisdom, and I think the wisdom is actually going to come because we're going to help one another. We're going to learn from one another. I've been thinking about all the different people, just not only here, but even in how you've been responding to the grace in the room and all the rest. And I've been thinking, there's this whole prophetic lesson that's been going on in this summit, and it doesn't feel like a classroom, but it kind of is. It's a classroom of knowing when to push forward, when to restrain, when to posture, when to respond to what's been said. And I see this maturing dimension. I see that, here's the thing, the nation of Australia is being buffeted by many demonic voices. I can imagine the torment of the demoniac with legion inside of him. Could you imagine when he can't sleep? That's why he gashes himself in the cemeteries. That's why he breaks the chains, because there's a restlessness, and that restlessness is, I see it over this nation. But the only thing that's going to soothe that restlessness is not chains. You can't lure demons out of us, right? They couldn't restrain him. That all they could do was kind of observe him and try and hope to God that he didn't go into the village. But at the end of the day, it took a Christ-configured dimension, Christ, which we are the carriers of that, to actually bring deliverance into that space. But here's a really interesting perspective on that. It says that Christ commands the demons out, and then they say to him, hey, don't torment us. And then he asks for their name. And I know that in the deliverance movement, there was that whole thing about, what's your name, sort of stuff. And we took that too far. It's not about that. It's about discerning accurately what the wound, what's the pain of our cities, because then we come with the prophetic answers that bring deliverance. I think a prophetic company, as a matter of fact, I think all prophecy must lead to justice. I think it has to lead to bringing deliverance in the form of justice. Must. Otherwise, it's just words. It must lead to justice. And I really believe that the church is going to come into the forefront. Whilst we have some of that already working out, I've got to say to you, I think domestic violence is not going to be solved by the government. I think the church brings the answer. I really do. Yep. I think we're hoping that the government comes up with the answer, and it's actually in the church. We're the prophetic company that brings deliverance to those ills and some of the others. And I just see that. I see the church in Australia coming, as it comes into its greater Christ likeness, its prophetic authority is going to just continue to just bring, as it were, unlock and bring deliverance to a demoniac community, or a community that has been, demonically harassed and lied to for so long. And so I'm not seeing dark days, I'm seeing good days. But I'm seeing days of great encounter with the love of God. And I think that's going to be so important. not dictating where society's wrong, but actually coming as prophetic solutionists, as the Christ solution in through our local churches, through the regions. I think that's where the prophetic movement carries great voice. Amen. Thank you.